Fan reaction time then. Everton 1, Burnley 0. Just literally got back now. And I still can't understand how, in the biggest game of the season so far, well, it probably will be now, won't it? Because I can't see us coming back from that. The biggest game of the season so far, they put in that performance. That was dreadful. It really, really was. And to be fair, it would have been 0-0 if it weren't for the Muric mistake. And then everyone would have felt probably slightly different. But it were two poor teams. We just ended up, as usual, like we have done so many times this season, beating ourselves. And it weren't just the Muric mistake either. Obviously, Dara makes a mistake and then lunges into the challenge. I mean, I've not seen it back yet. So if you've all seen replays and I sound silly, then I apologise. But from when I saw it on the game, the ball comes to Dara, he takes a shocking touch, and then he lunges in and then gets sent off. It might have been harsh. The guy next to me reckons that he wasn't last man, but I don't know. I thought when he lunged in at the time, the other guy in front of me was like, he's off here, and then he went off. But it's mad because people always talk about how Dara's getting better, and I do agree with it. He is getting better from what we saw at the start of the season. But there's always that mistake in him, and it's been shown again. He made one against Wolves, it just didn't go unpunished. He makes a mistake every single week. Every single time. And it proper let us down today. I mean, he has been getting better. I've said that on this channel so much recently. But then that will always let him down. That silly mistake he's got in him. Obviously the Muric mistake, again, not seeing it back. Just dallies on the ball for too long. Calvert-Lewin presses him. You're thinking, right, hit it then. No, dallies, too late in. I thought it were going wide, you know. I weren't even that fussed. I'm like, got away with one there. And it bounced in, fuming. But in terms of the actual game, Everton started the better side without really creating that much from memory. And then we grew back into it and we started being the better side at the end of that first half without, again, creating any clear-cut chances, but we were turning the screw, we were having an attacking threat without creating anything, if that makes sense. You know, on the attacking threat graph, it would have said that we were higher at that point, I presume. But then again, we just don't have the quality. We just don't have the quality in the final third or pretty much anywhere on the pitch to then turn it into chances and then turn the chances into goals. And then obviously the stupid mistake right before half time where you're thinking, oh, for fuck's sake, we've just come back into this on the balance of play, and then you give away a goal like that in such a massive game of such a massive magnitude, and then their tails are up as they go into the half. We're deflated, and you're thinking, how do we come back from this when we just don't have the quality? But yeah, and then second half, I mean, Everton started the better. I mean, the majority of the second half was just us faffing around with it. Like, what are you doing? You're 1-0 down in such a massive game. Get forward. And I'm not saying just lump it, because half the time they're fanning around with it, realised they weren't getting anywhere, oofed it forward, shock horror, Tarky or Branthwaite heads it away. Playing straight into their hands like we have done 3 times this season. Everton's last win in the Premier League was on the 16th of December. This would have been their worst ever run in Premier League history if they didn't win today. What did Burnley do? Gift them a win. Who did they play the last time they won in the league? Burnley at Turf Moor. 3 of Everton's last 5 wins have come against Burnley. We just play straight into their hands. We cannot play against a Dice team because we're just not good enough. And they just sit back because they know we aren't good enough. And then they just hurt us. Well, they didn't even need to hurt us today like they did last time on the set pieces. We did it for them. And that's the thing that annoys me the most today. We beat ourselves with silly mistakes again. And we were doing that at the start of the season. And it's what, the 6th of April? And we're doing it again now. We've not learnt. We're obviously down now. I mean, if it weren't for points deductions and stuff, we probably would already have the R next to the name. But we're obviously down now. We've shown a bit of fight recently, but it's obviously ultimately not been enough. And that's another frustrating thing. We've actually been better. We drew at Chelsea, we drew at West Ham, we drew at home to Wolves. Teams that are better than Everton. Even Brentford, they're above them. We beat them. And then we're just going through in that performance on a game like today. It just bar me. Everything about today was wrong. Everything. Why is Foster still being wasted out wide, by the way? Why? It didn't work against Wolves, Vincent. Why are you trying it again now? Stop putting Lyle Foster on the right wing. Lyle Foster's a forward. If you want to play Fofana and Foster on together, Put them both up front. That would look better than Foster wasted out wide. Fofana were poor again today, I thought. I just can't. I've driven home. It's taken It's 10 to 8 now as I'm recording this. Obviously, we left at the full-time whistle at 5, so it's taken me, obviously not been driving for 3 hours. I was in a car park, stuck in a car park for about half an hour. I'm not going to lie, I've been to Mackey's. I've been stuck in a lot of traffic, and it's been 3 hours, and I still cannot understand how we put in that performance on such a big game. Oh, I do these fan reactions when I'm emotional. I know Liam, he can separate it, and he does them and thinks and puts good thoughts across. I just can't do it. Shocking, terrible performance. Don't have enough quality, not enough tactical nous, doing the wrong things at the wrong times, like passing it around the back when you're 1-0 down in the biggest game of the season with 15 minutes left. And then when it don't work, they're lumping it forward up to Jared Branthwaite and James Tarkowski, so it's coming straight back at you. Played into their hands, beat ourselves, not good enough, going down. See you next week though.